and we're going to talk about this Carson Wentz trade. So last week, 4 days ago actually, the Eagles traded former first-round pick Carson Wentz to the Colts. In return, they received a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second-round pick that can turn into a first-rounder. I believe if he plays 75% of the snaps, it'll turn into a first-rounder. So a first and a third. Pretty crazy that that's all they got in return, considering the Lions got a very hefty return for Matt Stafford. But that's over and done with. And the Eagles will take a $33.8 million dead cap hit, the largest dead cap hit that any player has ever taken, which is insane. So the Colts will assume the balance of Wentz's $128 million extension, including the $10 million guaranteed roster bonus due on March 19th. So with Carson Wentz, he's reunited with his former offensive coordinator in Philly, who's now the head coach, Frank Reich. And he's obviously going to fill that starting position. And the Eagles are, turning face to Jalen Hurts. Wow. It just shows you how quick a franchise can turn on a player. But, Carson Wentz had a very down season, especially, hasn't really done much since that Super Bowl run. A lot of people can say that, that Nick Foles led that Super Bowl run. But, Carson Wentz did provide some support in the beginning of that year. This dude, Carson Wentz, was a former MVP candidate. Now he ended up back in Jalen Hurts. So, obviously, he wanted out. He wants to be able to play. What's going to happen, though, with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles? Is he going to be their guy for years to come? Probably not. Eagles are going to probably look for someone to potentially be his backup and eventually, make that way onto, not having Jalen Hurts in the organization. That's just my opinion here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it turned into a report today as well that Carson Wentz, number 11, right? And, we expect him to, try and have that same number in Indianapolis. But no. Michael Pittman Jr., star wide receiver for the Colts, who's going to be, that number one guy, since T.Y. Hilton probably will not be there next season. Michael Pittman Jr. said, no, I am not giving up that number 11. And look, rightfully so. Rightfully so. What has Carson Wentz done in the NFL for multiple years that, said, hey, I need my number? Nothing. And, if Michael Pittman Jr., that number probably means something to him, right? So there's no need for him to give up that number, right, for someone, who's not that great. It's not like, you have Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers walking there demanding that number. No. Carson Wentz. So rightfully so, man. He's not going to give up that number. And, yeah, who knows what number that the Carson Wentz will be for the Colts.